Hello, everyone. I am Salunkhe. I would like to, oh, I need to go back. So, hello, I'm Salunkhe. I'm here to present a case of UK-based food supply chain, SME. So today morning, in the panel discussion, we heard about, there's holistic approach needed in innovation. I would say holistic approach is needed even in terms of operations. And I would like to represent some of the case studies or initiatives that we have taken in one of the food SME based in north west of UK. So this is part of KTP project. KTP stands for Knowledge Transfer Partnership. In these projects, there's a university, a industry, and a associate like me who works on these projects. So in this case, the project was collaboration between Manchester Metropolitan University and Dunster's Farms, which is a wholesale food supply business, which mainly supplies food to um, catering, education catering, mainly based in north of UK. So Dunster's Farms, though the name is slightly misleading, this is not a farming company. This is a wholesale food supply business. This is a third generation family-owned wholesaler. Uh, the operation is they mainly store various food, non-food products, and even the frozen food products in their warehouse, and they supply through the fleet of around 40 vehicles to various educational catering institutes in the north. So this is an award-winning business. Just last week, we have won a gold medal from Federation of Wholesale Food Distributions, and of course, quite progressive company. Uh, So this is some operational data from the recent past year. So over 50,000 deliveries were made, over 1 million miles covered, uh, quite a large range of products, as well as turnover last year was around 25 million pound. So some of the challenges faced in food sector SMEs. SME, we are well aware their importance for the country. Uh, just from some of the data, 99% of the businesses in EU are all SMEs, employ around 100 million people, and account for more than half of Europe's GDP. This is fast paced and challenging SME or etc. I would say, uh, especially in these in this SME or related SME. Suppose the order is placed today, that has to be delivered tomorrow, so that kids can have their food for their lunch. So whatever happens, whatever mistakes do we make, that is the history when we speak the next day. This quite rapidly growing industry. Of course, lots of regulations coming up in these sector as well. Um, so the objective of this research was to study the trade-off between supply chain efficiency and sustainability for a food service SME based in the northwest of UK. So this is our research methodology. Stage one composed of um, having the focus groups as well as semi-structured interviews to identify some of the factors for constructing sustainable and social value strategy for a logistics supplier. Stage two was reviewing the literature as well as some of the factors listed in previous stage. Stage three was experimentation, implementation, and validation of some of the observations from previous two stages. Today, I would like to present some of the empirical findings that have helped to reduce the fuel consumption and specify some of the challenges that we faced. Some of the experts here could offer some of their expertise or suggestions, which could be helpful for us. I would like to especially thank Maya and Alan McKinnon for their research. which has been helpful for uh, planning all our activities. So this is beginning with structural factors. Hub and spoke model. This was quite helpful. Um, Dunster's Farms have recently acquired another business named Little Food Company, which is based in Oswestry. So Little Food Company specialize in frozen supplies, whereas Dunster's Farms based in Bury, Manchester, they specialize in ambient chilled and non-food products. So every night there's a trunk, two trunk vehicles passing from Dunster's, that is Bury to Oswestry, carrying ambient chilled and non-food products, whereas the same on the return, they carry the frozen food products from Oswestry to Bury. Yes, this model has been helpful for us in terms of reducing the miles or reduced energy consumption, because each of the sites have specific purpose-built warehouses that specifically store frozen food at one side and ambient and non-food on the other side. However, when we speak of the volumes, there's a difference. So the frozen, both the trunks are always full, whereas on the return from Bury to Oswestry, it's not, the volume is not proportionate. So that is one of the challenge that we face. Speaking about the commercial factors, yes, we heard some of the observations regarding backhauling. So when we deliver our food products to some of our customers, so on the return, they collect, they visit some of our suppliers and pick up the products from our suppliers. This is being trialed as of now. We have around 3% of our suppliers that we do backhauling with. Um, Additionally, I would like to mention one of our friend who's another food wholesaler based in south of England. Here, uh, they even backhaul used oil, cardboards, and plastics, which is quite interesting and efficient. Speaking of next supplier connections, whenever some of these food suppliers visit catering kitchens, they often hear one of the food suppliers, like let's say Dunster's Farm's name. So instead of them supplying to each individual schools, they in turn approach a wholesale supplier or logistics supplier like us, who in turn store their products in our like warehouse, and then in turn supply to around 500 to 800 various school caterings across the country. Next, we also spoke about alliance and networks. This is another example of buying group that we have in wholesale sector. So this is called as Cater Force, which is a group of 9 wholesalers based in various regions all over the UK. One example I can give is Linus, which is based in Northern Ireland. They supply to Bob and Birds, which is um, a cafe chain, I would say. Uh, However, they have recently opened lots of other sites in north of England. So instead of Linus supplying from Northern Ireland, in turn Dunster's Farm collaborated and started supplying to all the cafe franchisees based in north of England. So this is an example of like how the alliance or networking has helped. Um, yes, speaking of the challenges, backhauling, yes, it's very efficient, very useful in terms of reducing miles. However, as we are all aware, there's lots of restrictions in the driving hours, and which has proved quite challenging to expand the 3% of our backhauling to more higher percentage, though we are traveling furthermore. In terms of alliance and supplier connections, there's always a question of sharing the benefits. Lots of complexities in those areas. Next, operational factors. When we supply to school catering, there's always a restriction on delivery windows. So there are quite specific times that we can deliver, and every kitchen needs the products to be delivered between 7 to 9 so that they can prepare their meals for the children. Of course, when school children are out, the drivers cannot enter. So these are certain specific challenges we face. And apart from that, if there are any instances of failed deliveries, some of the contracts with the schools specify that the delivery has to be made before 10 a.m. The next day. Um, Again, speaking about the number and frequencies of deliveries, yes, we speak of collaborations. Here, we have even have collaborations or various communications with the customers, wherein when they requested one pallet 4 times a week, we have communicated and you know said about 2 pallets delivery for 2 times per week. These sorts of communications or discussions have quite helpful. This, of course, some data in relation to pallet utilization, which has been helpful. Speaking of order sizes, when I speak of those Cato Force members, this order value per drop, which is one of the highest among the buying group. We've also done certain customer data analysis. I can speak in this slide. So here, this is very simple data representation. Here, each dot represents one single order, and this is a representation of distance of the location of maybe the customer from our warehouse against the order value. On the top, you can see some of the dots in red. Here, all those represent the order value below 150 pound. However, the distance is above 75 miles. Just for simpler, I'm just focusing on those. So the order value is below 100 pound, whereas the distance is above 75 miles. This sort of very simple, basic data analysis has helped to prioritize customers and focus on only those customers uh, whose order value is above certain or even set minimum value for the orders. Some of the functional factors. When we speak of route optimizations, we speak of Fleetmatic's uh, tracking the vehicles. Yes, we have done all those things, but before that, there are various other steps in the entire supply chain. Uh, for example, there are certain errors in telesales, certain errors in the warehouse when the product is being picked and assembled on a pallet. There is errors even in loading or delivery. To address and these all redeliveries lead to again extra mile. So for example, today I deliver just maybe half of the products. There has to be some another way to supply the products the next day. So all these errors could be somehow addressed. So here we have a issue tracker. This has been done recently in the past 3 months. Here we can see every single order has a specific um, department which may be responsible for initiating that error, or maybe some root causes analysis has helped to identify these. So addressing these root causes has further helped to minimize the redeliveries. This is another example. As we all know, vehicles these days are becoming more and more lighter. Lighter the vehicles, lower the fuel consumption. So here, um, this was, let's say, there's a delivery starting from Manchester and all the way traveling to, let's say, near Birmingham. The driver has an option to reach all the way to Birmingham, and on the return, he can deliver to various specific customers. Or option two, he can drive from Manchester. On the way, he can drop those pallets to the customers, and then finally drop the last pallet near Birmingham. So option two is quite helpful, because on the way, when he has dropped, like let's say, four of the pallets, so the vehicle weight has reduced. So this has been quite helpful again in terms of planning, uh, deliveries, and yeah. Some of the other challenges in terms of integrations, and lots of underutilized data set, as I have shown some of the examples. We have further updated the data that we use, and further leverage it, lots of training, and we have also new fuel management system. So here, initially, when the fuel was dispensed, there was no record. So that's being done with the help of this fuel management system. It helps in mileage. It helps in planning the maintenance, fuel tanks in the yard. Um, Here, this is an example of difference in the fuel consumption. This is not being yet efficiently used, but this is a difference in the fuel consumption shows maybe there is something wrong with one of the vehicle. It also shows a similar thing with the driver, uh, differences in the fuel consumptions. If we compare two of the drivers, it points to driver behavior. So again, when we speak of the driver behavior, we have introduced lots of rewards and incentives, uh, some of the events to highlight environmental efforts, and many KPIs in relation to these factors. This is another simple data analysis. Here it shows total cost per mile with some of the vehicles, and in the background you can see total distance traveled. Yes, as a distance traveled, some of the cost has been coming down, but you can see some of the figures in the highlighted box. uh, when we speak of, yes, let's say consider 0.79 pound and 0.65 pound. Yes, there is small difference, but when we speak of 10,000 miles, the difference is quite huge. This is some of the images on the driver behavior. This has helped us to create an additional role on the driver trainer, as well as transport debriefer, so to initiate some of the best practices. External factors, we have discussed quite in detail about aging vehicles, fuel prices, and also regulations regarding um, clean air in the Greater Manchester region. Of course, for many of the tenders that we approach nowadays, there is quite a big element on social value, which also includes sustainability. Um, Summary. Here, I have tried to show some of the low-hanging fruits, how this SME has maybe started, you know, doing some of the activities, and how that has helped to reduce their uh, miles, or even reduce their carbon footprint. Some of the presented initiatives have certainly helped this SME. And of course, yes, there is a big work still to be done, and people and culture is always the key. Uh, Thank you. I would like to happy to answer any of your questions, or any comments. Thank you.